Hey everybody, Hunter Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and Country Cook Steve Hall here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila. Hi, Shishi.
Hi, this is Miss Sheila. We're back for another recipe today, and Jennifer here, my sidekick, is getting with it today with a new recipe, and it's going to be a very colorful one and very healthy one.
Very.
Yeah.
Well, today we are going to make a Cuban salad, and I get to visit my family down in Sarasota, Florida, and in the Bay Area. They have a restaurant called Columbia, and if you've never been down there before, it makes a very popular 1905 salad. And so we're going to make that salad today. We have all the ingredients here. So what we're going to do is, this is a two-step process. First we're going to start with the salad, and then we're going to make the dressing. But this is a really great recipe for if you just want to make something quick and for the summertime when it's warm. And it's my husband, he made it first, so he said, we got to try this, this recipe. So we tried it at home, and he did it. So I'm like, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, he's your sampler all the time.
He is, yes. And so I'm going to start off with a head of lettuce, and you'll want to take off the outer layer, of course. I've already washed this earlier, and get the loose. And you want just regular iceberg lettuce, because this recipe would get soggy if you used greener lettuce. So you really want to keep the crisp lettuce. So you will start off with your iceberg lettuce and peel out your head here in the middle. And I'm just throwing leaves everywhere. This is
leafy.
It's very leafy. And if you will hand me one of those, well, I'll get that right there.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dangerous with those.
So we have a bowl here. We're going to put this in, and it calls for a half a head of lettuce, but you might start with that, but you're probably going to need a little bit more. I usually use the whole thing, but I'll use part of it here. So you'll want to slice it down like that into strips, and I usually do a couple slices because it's easier to eat on the fork. It's not falling off big giant chunks trying to get them in your mouth. And we'll just put that in there. So I'll take that next little section and just chop that. Have you ever had a Cuban salad before?
I don't think so.
It is really good, and you've got to try it. So we'll get that salad in there. Let's just use up the whole thing. We're gonna make a big salad today. Then I won't have to cook dinner tonight either.
You can give that part to Jimmy.
Yeah. And we'll just put that in the bowl.
It's already looking colorful.
It's really going to be great.
There you go. No, you need help with that bowl.
Yeah, it's a
heavy bowl.
It's a big bowl. Okay, so once we have the lettuce all chopped up in the bowl, we're going to chop up some tomatoes. And this recipe calls for 2 tomatoes. You'll want to chop up this tomato. Tomato, you say tomato. I say tomato.
I say maters.
Maters?
Yeah.
As they say down south, those chop up those maters.
Chop up those maters.
So we're going to chop up
taters and maters.
And everybody's got their own way of chopping up tomatoes. I like the Roma tomatoes because it's not too liquidy, and some of the seeds and stuff, it's not as many. We really appreciate everybody's responses and all their positive thoughts. Everybody has been sending such wonderful messages and encouraging us to continue this show, and how much they enjoyed us, and they said we work really well off each other. Yeah. So that's good.
We have been on the road a lot together over the years, and she didn't have to say anything, and I didn't have to say anything, but when we look at each other, we know what we're saying.
A whole conversation without saying a word. And
yes.
Steve would go, you girls are crazy. But we did. We had a lot of fun. We traveled all over the United States and Canada and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put that away. So we got the tomatoes there. You're my tomato girl?
Yeah, tomato girl.
Okay. And then you're going to want some red onion. And you can do that to taste, because not everybody likes too much onion, but you're just going to sprinkle some of that in the salad, because we're going to mix it all up. And they're flying.
You just leave out.
And my sleeves in it, and then they're flying around the table. But I did about 3/4 of a cup of red onion there. And why don't you toss that up a little bit for me?
Oh my.
And I'm going to get some more ingredients. So now you can take your ham and you will cut it into strips, long strips, or you could do cubes depending on what kind of ham you use. This is just a regular baked honey ham. It's really your choice. So I'm going to cut it in just small little chunks and add that to it. And then you just toss it in the salad while she's tossing that up.
As long as I don't toss it in the floor.
Which is entirely possible. This is a slick little counter too. Things just slide right off here.
Look at this going around in circles.
You would be surprised when we get done cooking. There's stuff we got to sweep up and, you know. So you'll just slice these. And like I said, you can cube them, slice them, whichever you prefer. And then you just put them in the salad. And you can also do this with turkey, and you can do this with shrimp. So if you aren't a big ham eater, if you want to do it with a different kind of meat, you can. But I prefer the ham myself. It's pretty dang good.
I love ham. I like chicken or turkey.
Well, it adds a saltier flavor to this particular recipe. So, and if you're okay with the sodium and you want to, doesn't that look good?
Yes.
Let's see, things are flying. Couple more slices here.
And if you want it any smaller than this, you can take one of those choppers and have like a chopped salad.
Exactly. And you could, you could make half this recipe. You could just split this in half. And we are going to have the recipe down in the comments below. So if you just want to come back and reference, you don't have to go to any other website. We'll have it right below this YouTube video. And then we have our Swiss cheese. And we're going to do the same thing with it. And then you're just going to slice this the same way. Long strips of Swiss cheese. And then you can just do some chops in half and then add those to the salad. You can get any kind of cheese, any kind of Swiss cheese you prefer. I just got the regular sliced stuff. It makes it easier for me to do it a little quicker. And you know me, I'm all about those quick recipes. I'm gonna make it easy. So we'll just put all that in the salad. And then we'll just continue to toss up. Yeah. So then we're gonna add Spanish olives. These are stuffed with pimento, and they're already pitted. So, and you can add about half a cup. And I go ahead and pour some of that olive oil that they're in with it because it's outstanding. So you'll just put some of that in. So I use about a half of this jar. You could do more to taste, whatever you prefer. But these are yummy. Oh my gosh.
I know. Here, give me one.
Here, half a spoon. Take one of those.
Okay.
You can try that out and sample that
Okay.
while I stir this up. These are nice.
I love these
big,
things.
aren't they good?
Mm-hmm.
I love olives. Okay, so then the next step is we are going to make the dressing. So I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm just going to put this in this little pour measuring thing. You could do it if you have a smaller container, but this is what I'm going to use to add all these ingredients. So she handed me these little measuring teaspoon things, and I said they kind of looks like a baby rattle.
They are cute, aren't they?
They are very cute.
Steve uses
Very,
those all
very
the time.
colorful too. So, okay, so we're going to make our dressing, and so we're going to need an 1/8 cup of white wine vinegar. So I'm going to pour this, and hopefully this is going to. I get the right side.
Yeah, get the right side, girl.
Where's my? Okay.
Hold it up so you can see it.
Okay, that's about an 1/8 right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pour that in there. And then we're going to need a half a cup of extra virgin Spanish olive oil. And you can use whichever kind you like. Half a cup. This is the good for you stuff.
Yes.
Keto-friendly recipe, low carb. So if you're watching your carbs, once again, I'm bringing those low carb recipes to you. And then you're going to need garlic, minced garlic, and it calls for 4 cloves. So I'm just going to do about I've kind of measured it out already in this little glass dish. So I'm going to scoop that in here, which is approximately 4 cloves. If you like garlic, you can do a little bit more. I'm just going to scrape all that out of there. And then we're going to use some Worcestershire. Say that 10 times fast. Worcestershire.
You go ahead and start on it.
Worcestershire
There's
sauce.
15 there's 15.
That's easy for you to say.
There's 15 pronunciations, as they call it, of
Of this particular
anything that says that word.
Worcestershire.
Yeah.
I guess everybody's got their own way of saying it, but.
I don't know who invented that to start with.
So we're going to have, let me see, where's my little, it says 1 teaspoon, but you might want to sprinkle a little bit more on after we get the salad mixing, because I did make a larger batch of salad. So once that is in, we're going to add a little bit of oregano, and I'm just going to sprinkle some in here. I'm a
Sprinkle girl.
well, I don't really, when they say 1 teaspoon or a half a teaspoon, I usually just kind of go off the taste. You know, I'll test it, go, yeah, no, it needs a little bit more oregano or whatever I'm using. And that's just me. You'll want a salt and pepper. So we got a little bit of salt. And like I said, you can measure it out if you really want to do all that, but I'm just kind of a sprinkle this, sprinkle that, a pinch of that, a pinch of this, and we're
Never
there.
would get it done. You measured everything.
And then you'll just stir that up. And once it's completely mixed, you can whisk it, or give me one of those whiskers over there.
Whiskers.
I need a whisker.
You need a cat here.
Bring me a whisker.
Here's a cat.
There you go. That'll work better. So then you will just whisk this up until it's completely mixed. And you want to move that salad back over here. Move those out of the way. And we will just pour that over the salad. And then go ahead and toss that salad up.
Doing good?
Doing very good. Okay, I'll let you move that over. We got just a little bit more to add. Those girls in the restaurant, the girls and guys in the restaurant have this stuff down. They take this lemon and they usually will just squeeze it over a spoon right into the salad dish. So, of course, I'm not going to do that. I've got my little handy dandy squeezer, which is much easier for me to use. So I'm just going to put my lemon in there and squeeze that over the salad.
Well, aren't you swift?
It calls for 2 lemons, but I'm going to do it to taste here and see how it goes, because these are pretty juicy lemons here. And I guess these are pretty large too, so I'm assuming it's probably, I'll let you mix that some more. It's going to smell good in here, very citrusy.
Yes, it is. Covers the onions. Looks real good.
Then the last thing you want to do is put some Romano cheese, or Italian blend Romano cheese. I don't have one of those little fancy little doohickeys they use in the restaurant, so I'm just going to do it myself. So you'll put as much cheese as you like. They'll always ask if you want some more cheese on there, and you're like, yes, absolutely, bring on the cheese. So we'll toss that in there, and doesn't that look yummy?
Yes. Olive Garden has nothing on you, Jen.
And if you get you some French bread or something like that to go with this, if you're not on a low carb keto diet, or you can make your own bread, but
Spaghetti and meatballs.
that's right. Okay, and I think we're about ready to serve up.
Good.
Okay, so now that we got all that mixed up,
Yes.
you ready to try it?
Yes.
All right. You just put some of that on the plate. I'm dropping it all over the place. But you know, that's the way it goes. Yeah, just throw it on there. And I'll put some on this one. Look, I'm throwing lettuce.
Look, hand me the plate.
Look, hold that.
Okay, hold that. Give it here.
Make yourself useful, would
I
you?
am doing everything I can to make it useful.
Don't try this at home. We're okay. Make sure we can got all those yummy olives and stuff. Okay, so I add a little cheese, but we're still going to top it with a little bit more cheese. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there.
Sprinkle a little bit on here.
And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on that one. I'm throwing it all over the plate.
That works. It's going to be gone in a minute.
And that is what you get. Isn't that wonderful?
It's awesome.
All right, we got to try this. So are you ready to try this?
I am ready.
Doesn't this look good?
That's one in the floor.
Did you just throw some more on the floor? Well, I guess we are going to sweep today. Get one of those olives.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these flavors. It's amazing salad. So if you ever get down to Florida and go to Columbia restaurant, definitely order the 1905 salad.
This is
But
it.
if not, you can just make this at home and enjoy it. And like I said,
Save
get
your
you
trip.
save yourself a trip and bring Columbia to you.
Oh.
Who are you?
Yeah. Who are you? Yeah. Like,
Who are you?
what's your name?
Do you know? I have lots of Italians. Let me say that. Mention one more time. Okay, do that again. One more time. I have lots of Italians. I have a big Italian family.
1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3.
4.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I like the Romano tomatoes, so I like Romano. Did I say Romano? The Roma.
Everybody loves ramen.
The Roma potato.
Everybody loves
Potatoes,
ramen.
tomatoes, boy, it's gonna be one of those
It's
kind of
good.
days.
Don't forget to visit shotgunred.com.
We hope you enjoy this recipe, and we really hope you subscribe to our channel. That's easy. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in a little bit. When you click on it, it'll say subscribe, then you're subscribed. Next to it will be a little notification bell. If you click that little bell, then YouTube will send you every single one of our recipes or a notification that we posted one as soon as it comes out. See you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Is this the best? If it ain't, it ought to be.